G'day and thanks for watching. This is Scrubby the Bush Mini, and this time we're going to rescue her from myself. Alright, thanks for tuning back into the channel. This time we're going to go behind the shed, behind my water tank, behind my scrap pile, and move one of my cars from outdoor life to slightly less outdoor life. Let's go. So this is my scrap pile. It's only ever a temporary scrap pile. I pile stuff up here until I get sick of looking at it, and then I'll do a dump run. Yeah, so it's getting, it's not crazy full, but there's enough stuff here. But in behind there, we have a 1969 Morris Mini. I'll tell you the story of this car. I bought this car off Marketplace, I don't know, probably a couple of years ago. It just come up very cheap on a farm, and it was about an hour and a half from where I live, and I happened to be in close proximity to a mate that had a trailer, so I just went and grabbed it. And I brought it home. I did get it running and driving. It sat on a farm for, I think they told me 15 years. This is up near Horsham in central Victoria, or central North Victoria. Yeah, and I keep meaning to move this car. I was actually going to build a shelter over it here, but now the charger's in my main garage. I've got some room in this little lean-to, so we're going to make some room and push this old girl indoors. I keep looking at the pine needles on it and thinking, geez. Now I did buy this as a parts car. It's not the worst in the body, but it does have one feature that's not super desirable, and that's that the roof has been cut out of it. So it was a spotlighting vehicle, so that's the main reason this isn't in the shed and getting blown up and restored. But probably my biggest character flaw is I see potential in everything, and I don't want this sitting outside rotting, even though it is, yeah, not super pretty. It does have a bit of body damage and rust, but it's not past it, especially when if you go on the Mk1 forums and look at what the guys in the UK restore. It's mental. I mean, it'd surely be more economical to buy a Mini from Australia and send it over there than some of the restorations they do. They blow cars apart to nothing and basically build them out of aftermarket panels. But anyway, I'm gonna clean up some of this garbage, at least temporarily, and I'm going to clean out some of this garbage. This is where the charger lived for about 12 months, but if I move everything back, there is room to push Scrubby in. So yeah, if I move some of the junk in here, I will make some room to push the Mini in, and that will make me feel much better, it not being out in the weather. So I'll make some room in here, and then we'll make some room out there. So that didn't take very long. Pushed everything in towards the back. And now we can make some room on the other side of this door so I can get the car out. I'll push it forward, blow up the tyres. First thing I need to make some room. So I'll get some of this junk out of the way, if only temporarily. So it's a pretty sad sight. You don't realise, this has only been a couple of years, you don't realise how quickly this stuff builds up and will destroy a car. Still looking alright under here. So she's a 998 with a rod change 4-speed. It's got really good compression. I've actually had it running. I've rebuilt the carby and just ran it off a little lawnmower tank, and I've done a couple of laps of the yard in it. And that footage is at the end of the Kerrang video, but does she still turn over? No worries. So yeah, anyway, we'll get all this garbage off the roof and out of the way. And see if we can roll her forward enough to put some air in the tyres. I should add that the other reason I'm moving the car is that my garage is part of the water supply for our house, and I like to get out every couple of years with the pole saw and just make sure there's no cypress right above our shed roof. So part of the reason for moving Scrubby is I want to get in and clean all these branches up to the fence line. Yeah, they're nice shade, but they're also a pain in the ass. But it is what it is. Anyway, we'll get this crap off the roof and see if we can roll her forward. So now you can see the butchery the poor old girl sustained. But she's mostly all there. Spare steering wheel. The floors are still mostly there. Yeah, someone loved this car at some point. It was originally white and they've gone to the trouble of painting it yellow. I'll see if she wants to roll. Well, she doesn't want to move at all. I don't think the handbrake's on. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, that's neutral, and that is handbrake off. No. All right, we'll come back with some air. I reckon that'll get us going. All right, we'll get some air in these tyres. If I can find the valve. Down the bottom, of course. Come on. There we go. So she's not even going to hold air. I'll get the rest of them up and we'll see how we go.
Junkified proudly presents Channel Watch.
Channel Watch. This time around, I'm watching a channel called Brick and Soul. Now this is insane. It's an American expat that lives in Poland. He was an antiques dealer, and he bought an abandoned building he used to walk past during his childhood. It was a massive shoe factory, and it had been abandoned, and it had been filled with bric-a-brac. The person that owned it before him was just a hoarder or a collector, and it's insane. It's the perfect example of bite off more than you can chew and chew like hell. I get overwhelmed with how many projects and how little time I've got. I do not know how this guy sleeps at night. Trying to renovate a 100-odd-year-old shoe factory. Just the time he spent even emptying out all the garbage before he even started is insane. But it looks like he's getting some good views on his YouTube, so hopefully he finds success in that, and that helps finance what he's doing. But he's based in Europe, his family's in Europe, and he travels over to work on it in stints. It's insane. He's got a few volunteers that are helping him out. I've only watched a couple of videos, but the story is amazing. So it's the sort of thing that I would do, is buy something like that. But good on the guy. He's keeping something from his childhood alive in a small dying town. So I'd definitely recommend giving Brick and Soul a view. Watch the first video where he says he bought the factory, and that sort of has some snips of some of he's doing a lot of the repairs on the place DIY, or trying to do it as much as he can himself. So repairing elevator shafts and heaters and God knows what from the turn of the century, last century. It's insane. So yeah, props to the guy, and I really hope he gets where he wants to get with it. It's insane. It's yeah, I'm lost for words. It's a massive project, coupled with the fact that he's got to fly halfway across the world just to put some hours into it. So yeah, Brick and Soul, have a look. Thank you. It's a losing battle trying to pump these tyres up, at least right here. I can't even put another set of wheels on it because of where it is, so I'm just going to get my trusty old Nissan and drag it out. I was hoping this is only going to take a few minutes, and as always it's going to turn into an ordeal. So anyway, we'll drag her out. Alrighty. So that was far more of an ordeal than I was hoping for. But here she is. Apart from the roof, she's actually a reasonably straight old girl. Rust in the left-hand A panels, a little bit in the sills. Rear boot panel volants are all gone. Battery box from memory is just hanging in there. But I mean, it's not the worst out there. So a little bit of that typical A panel rust on the right hand side as well. So I'm not sure where the name Scrubby come from. So it's a 1969 Deluxe. It was originally Toga white. Would have originally had a 998 and remote shift. It's now got a Clubman era 998 and rod shift in it. Other than that, it has been resprayed, but other than that, it's pretty. The front seats aren't original, but the rest of the trim is probably what it was delivered with. So yeah, that's Scrubby the Bush Mini. And it says Scrubby here. Scrubby Mini. Or Scrooby's Mini. I don't know whether it's Scrooby or Scrubby. Anyway, obviously there was a story. Way back one day. I'm going to put a couple of wheels that hold air on the other side. And then push it in the shed. So we'll get to that. We might get away with just jacking it up and getting that tyre back on the bead, I don't know. Might be getting a bit optimistic there. So I ran out of time the other day and I ended up coming out after dark and changing wheels and pushing the car away. So she's now locked safe and sound in the parts shed. So there she is. One day soon when I get some time, I'll do a few bits and pieces. I want to get to start off the key. I do have a new ignition switch for it because it didn't have a key. Need to fix up some battery wiring, put a proper coil bracket on it. Does need a proper radiator shroud and a heap of mechanical work, but I don't know what the future holds for this old girl. Yeah, one of my character flaws is I see potential in everything, and it's not that bad a car if you look outside of the little hole in the roof. So, and it's all there too. So, Yeah, I guess it's just another blank canvas, one of many. Yeah, so I don't know what the future will hold for this old girl yet, but at the moment, at least she's out of the weather now. And yeah, waiting patiently for her turn. So if you made it this far, thanks so much for watching. If you do happen to have a roof skin or a pair of bumpers, they have to be amazing. I'm in Central Vic, please get in touch. Yeah, I would like to see this car saved, even if I'm not the one to do it. Yeah. Anyway, thanks so much for watching. Take care.